Good evening and welcome into Ashe County High School Husky Stadium for another edition of Friday Night Football here on Sky Zone HD Channel 1. Tyler Ashe alongside Nathan Ham, proud to bring you the action for tonight's homecoming edition of Friday Night Football. And Nate, the Huskies coming in riding high 6-0, sort of the opposite end of the spectrum for East Wilkes coming in here at 2-5. Looking to play spoiler, though, here tonight at homecoming.
Absolutely. East Wilkes nearly played spoiler last week against Elkin, but Elkin hung on. And tonight trying to do the same, spoil our homecoming festivities. But they're going to have to really improve on that defense that's given up quite a few points so far this year. And
we see the captains heading to midfield for the coin toss. There we see the captains for the Ashe County Huskies left to right. Number 33, Brandon Blevins. Number 20, Kenny Reed. Number 77, Jason Baker. And quarterback number 14, Connor Bowers for your Ashe County Huskies. As once again coming in here undefeated. And we heard it before the game there from radio man Graham Cadell speaking with Coach J.K. Atkins earlier this week. It's he compares this Ashe County offense to an airport, and they are open for flight.
Absolutely. That's about the best comparison you're going to find around here for sure. Lots of teams don't have to face anything like what we can bring game in and game out. And East Wilkes better be ready to land some planes out there if they want to make any stops.
That's exactly right. And this Husky offense looks poised to continue their winning ways and putting up some big points, over 50 points in the last two games. And we'll give you a quick look back at the highlights from last week's matchup in what was homecoming for West Wilkes. Ashe County certainly was a spoiler there, coming away with a big-time victory in last week's matchup against the Blackhawks 55-13. Now we'll break away to show you highlights from last week's game. Set. Bowers all day to throw, looking in the back of the end zone, and McNeil has the catch and the flag flies. Bowers joined by Barnes in the backfield. 4 men out wide, and the handoff goes to Barnes, and he is in. Time from Sullivan. 4 wide set. Play action once again. Bowers looking to the left side. Pass is complete to McNeil. Gets away from 1. He's at the 5. Downfield, has his man, and man, he is wide open. Worley blocking off 1 man and finds the corner and stretches ahead for that pylon, and another touchdown for this Ashe County offense. Bowers this time going to hand it off again to Sullivan, cutting across the middle, shaking off 1 man, and he is into the end zone, finds pay dirt, and the Huskies now take a commanding 27-0 lead. At the 9:25 mark, this time Bowers going to keep it himself, dives ahead, and he is in. Tack on yet another touchdown for this Ashe County offense, just really pouring it on now, leading 34-0. See what the Huskies draw up here on this play. Now Bowers airing it out, going deep down the field, deflected, and into the hands of Colin Ellis, and you're not going to catch him. 10-5 and touchdown. The circus show that as Colin Ellis continues. But really the grass making that tackle. Now we see Ellis going deep across the middle. Wide open is Mason McNeil, making it look easy. And he's looking around saying, hey, where was the defense?
In school history, I'm not sure about all the stats there.
First and goal from the 8. Handoff goes to Sullivan, and evading tacklers left and right. And you're not going to stop that big man, just runs his way into the end zone here on the left side. And there we saw some big-time plays from Ashe County on offense, and as well as some big defensive plays. And here we go, homecoming 2014 here at Ashe County High School, and the Huskies getting ready to take the field as we hear Johnny Cash playing over the loudspeakers, and here come the Huskies. Usually not too fired up there yet, Nate.
Surprising. Usually they come sprinting through the banner, but so far not the same Husky interest we've seen.
And there we go, getting this home crowd on their feet, and a big crowd here tonight in anticipation of homecoming at Ashe County High School, in which they will crown homecoming queen at halftime. And the band performed admirably before the game in pregame festivities, showing off those new uniforms. And here we see the Huskies in their home purple uniforms. As we look down there at the huddle, these guys are all ready for this football game to get underway. Those Huskies certainly fired up here on the home sideline and ready to put another big victory on the board. On the other side, we see East Wilkes getting ready under the direction of head coach J.K. Atkins, who's really looking this year, Nate. We saw it last season, especially in the Ashe County game, and then it was all season long, plagued the Cardinals' turnovers, and that's something we know they have to improve upon to be successful in this season.
East Wilkes has really found ways to beat themselves. As you said, definitely last year. Might be improving on that a little bit this year, but still, if you talk to a lot of people around the program, they still say penalties, turnovers, really killing a good team that has several athletes on the field.
And East Wilkes will be kicking this one off to get things started, so we will see this Husky offense quickly come onto the field. And as we saw last week and basically every week, this team more than capable of putting up points quick, fast, and in a hurry. 55 big ones last week against West Wilkes, 56 the week before that, and a big victory over Wilkes Central. We'll see if that Husky offense can continue or can East Wilkes shut them down. Only time will tell as we are getting set to get underway as we see the Miller Insurance scoreboard on the screen. Tonight's game is brought to you by Miller Insurance in downtown West Jefferson. Home, auto, life. See Miller Insurance for all your insurance needs. And now we are underway. An onside kick attempt. The ball scrambles out, and Ashe County, I believe, has recovered. A little bit of trickery there out of the gates for East Wilkes.
East Wilkes trying to play a little trick there on the Huskies. Not quite close enough to Halloween yet for that to work, but nonetheless trying to throw Ashe off here early in the contest.
And coming onto the field, we see this Ashe County offense under the direction of senior quarterback number 14, Connor Bowers. Impressive season to say the least here. Made already 23 touchdown passes against only 7 interceptions. And quickly we see them going through the air. Pass is caught by Jacob Worley. And, boy, that was a nice catch there, extended out over the defender.
Yeah, big statement right there early from Ashe. They're not going to act the least bit worried about this East Wilkes defense.
Worley able to get a quick step on the defender there. Defensive back Justin Cheek. And a perfectly placed ball, as we've seen all season long. As we showed the other stats just a moment ago from senior quarterback Connor Bowers, 23 TDs, only 7 picks. And tell you what, Nate, he's only thrown 3 after that first game against North Surrey, which he threw 4.
Absolutely, and something else that's really impressive to see, almost 2,000 yards here, and we still have 3 games left to play.
Look at this, Sky Sullivan breaking away, hurdles one man, but gets tripped up. And, man, he almost found pay dirt on that one.
Good to see the rushing game get started here early. A lot of fans seem to have the only complaint about this team's been the lack of a rushing attack. But, right there, great burst by the sophomore back.
Sophomores, we talk about it all season long, playing big roles for this team. Now it's going to be first down on the 17-yard line. Handoff goes to Sullivan again, fighting up the middle. One man to beat, twisting around, and he is not going to be stopped. He's a man on a mission. The Huskies, now less than a minute into this ball game, find pay dirt already.
Not what East Wilkes was looking for defensively. Took less than a minute to get on the board, and even more importantly for Ashe, they do most of that on the ground.
As we see there on the sideline view of this play, Sky Sullivan just refusing to go down, spinning around there toward the end, ducking and dodging some Cardinal defenders, and finds 6 points there quickly for the Ashe County Huskies just a couple of plays into this ball game. And now we'll see Richardson on to attempt the PAT. Snap, the hold, the kick is up and right down Broadway. Tack on one more. As we said, just like that, Huskies draw first blood in this homecoming matchup. Great drive there, as we see once again just 3 plays to take it 58 yards. Of course, Sky Sullivan carrying the bulk of the load, including that 16-yard TD run. 2 quick carries, and you said it, that's a thing of beauty here to see, and certainly a welcome sight by this Ashe County team. The running game paying big dividends early in this one.
Yeah, if Ashe can add just a little bit more of a rushing threat, their passing offense will get even more explosive.
Ashe County drawing first blood very quickly. Sky Sullivan adding 1 more to his already impressive touchdown total on the season. He's been finding the end zone quite a bit this season. Both he and Colin Ellis coming out of the backfield, but we've seen sort of a shift here in the recent weeks, moving Colin Ellis to almost exclusively wide out.
We have, and we've also seen Hunter Barnes kind of move in and take some of those carries that Ellis has been giving up since he's been used a little bit more here in the passing attack.
Fresh off his PAT, Richardson in to boot this one away. Kicking off from the Husky 40-yard line. Not a bad kick, be fielded and dropped. Now recovered about the 8-yard line. Cheek trying to find some room up the middle, and he's not going to have much room to work with. The Huskies collapse on him very quickly and prevent a big return.
Yeah, nice job there by the special teams. Saw Jacob Sawyer down there among others. and East Wilkes backed up on their very first possession of the game.
Yeah, sort of with their backs against the wall already to begin their first offensive possession. We'll call it 1st and 10. Looks like about the 17-yard line. Cardinals starting deep in their own territory on this one. Junior quarterback Chris Ward leading this offense in the shotgun, going to the option. There's the toss to the right side, finding some room out across the 20 and the 25. Near first down yardage that time. A nice carry for East Wilkes to start off this ball game, that time by number 20, Levi Ray.
Yeah, he's one of their bigger play guys in the backfield. Probably somebody that Ashe will really have to key on in that rushing offense of theirs.
We talked about it last week. East Wilkes only put up a touchdown against Elkin, but as you said, they nearly came out with the upset. Final score there 19-7, and what really surprised a lot of people through 3 quarters in that one. Now coming back to the near side on the option this time, keeping it himself is Ward. Not a bad gainer there. Enough to move those chains, and a quick East Wilkes first down. So far through 2 plays, they're looking pretty good on offense themselves.
Yeah, East Wilkes will try to do what Allegheny did to us and at least minimize how much time the Ashe offense gets on the field. But to do that, they're going to have to pick up several more first downs, take their time on the play clock, and put a good drive together.
Fresh set of downs now for the Cardinals. Ball's on their own 29-yard line, 1st and 10. Ward hands this one off, running up the gut. Again, let's see. I was going to say that was Ray this time, though. Handoff went to number 33, Jordan Nitton. We look up and down this roster here for East Wilkes Cardinals, and talking to Coach J.K. Atkins in our preseason show, a lot of sophomores and juniors you'll see on this team. That's something that he has been fortunate to have. This is a young team right now, but one that's only going to continue to get better.
Absolutely, and they do get some key leadership from a couple of their seniors. We know Levi Ray and Justin Cheek returning from last year's team to provide some leadership for these younger kids.
And on cue, there's Ray once again. However, this time he is tripped up. I believe that was Tristan Jones making the shoestring tackle, so that limits Ray to just a gain of about 1, we'll call it. That'll bring up 3rd down, about medium length for the Cardinals now. 3rd and 6 to be exact. Ball on their 33-yard line. Husky defense has looked very strong. Mountain Valley Conference play especially. Points hard to come by for opposing squads. Ashe has really just run roughshod over the opponent so far. Up by a touchdown here early in this one. This time Ward keeps it himself on the option and probably should have let that one fly. He stopped after just a gain of about 1. That's going to bring up 4th down and approximately 5 yards to go to pick up the first. And looks like they're going to bring on the punting unit in this 4th and 5 situation. Don't want to give Ashe any better field position than you have to, right, Nate?
Yeah, need to try to get a good punt off here. Just try to avoid some of the mental mistakes that they have been plagued with for quite a bit of the season.
On comes the punting unit. Low snap, and the punter loses this one, and he is going to be dropped quickly. Closing in convincing fashion there, we see Joseph Louder and also one half of the Baker boys, Sean Baker, number 52, getting in there and bringing the punter down in the backfield. And now Ashe County is going to be in great field position just outside the red zone, 1st and 10 on the Cardinal 21.
That's exactly the kind of plays you can't really afford to have when you're facing such a powerful offensive team as the Huskies.
Yeah, they certainly don't need any help on the offensive end, and East Wilkes giving them potential for a gift right here. Only 21 yards to go for a touchdown. Ashe starts this drive, coming up with the TD on their first drive. Here's the pass out to Barnes out of the backfield. He's down inside the 10 before he's brought down. That's going to bring up a 1st and goal. So the Huskies quickly threatening here again on this second drive of the game. Dalton Blackburn making the stop for the Cardinals. Touchdown saving tackle. 1st and goal right at the 10-yard line for the Huskies now. As the air raid season just keeps on going. 4 wide, 3 receivers to the right. Bowers joined by Barnes. Play action now. Looking across the middle, now finds Ellis on the left side, stretching ahead toward the pylon, and he is in. Touchdown, Huskies.
You see right there why Coach Hamptons went to Ellis a little bit more here in the passing game. Just does such a good job getting open, either lining out as a wide receiver or coming out of the backfield.
Certainly a dual threat. And Colin Ellis hit in stride across the middle by Bowers and stretches ahead, and that pylon within his grasp. 6 more for Ashe County. Looking to make it 7 more, pending the extra point. Snap, the hold, the kick is up by Richardson, and no good. So a surprising miss there from Richardson. The Huskies will have to settle for 6, but they quickly find themselves in the big 2-touchdown lead here, 13-0 in the early going. As we take a look at the drive summary, short field to work with, and of course the Huskies capitalized, as you saw there, with the 10-yard pass from Bowers to Ellis. Unfortunately for the Huskies, PAT no good. And so far tonight here, Nate Bowers perfect in this ball game.
Exactly what you like to see. Get your senior quarterback started off on a good foot there. And so far, as you said, has yet to miss a pass, and also getting a little help from the running game as well. Couldn't ask for a much better start if you're a Husky fan.
Yeah, near perfect ball so far for these Ashe County Huskies. 13-0 our score early in this first period. If you're East Wilkes here and Coach J.K. Atkins, what are you telling your guys right now?
Well, you're trying to, get them down a little bit off their high of being completely shell-shocked. Right now, you just got to go out there, tell them to take care of the football, try to put a good drive together. And, if you don't score, at least move the football and keep that Ashe offense off the field for a little while.
Richardson puts his big toe into this one, but it bounces to the left side of the field around the 15-yard line and actually goes out of bounds, resulting in a penalty. See what East Wilkes chooses to do, if they'll make Ashe re-kick or just take the nice field position. And don't blame him here with Richardson's big toe. They're going to take the good field position and start this drive off. Their own 35-yard line will be 1st and 10, and we'll see if East Wilkes can sustain their drive. They had a big play last time via the ground. They were able to pick up 1 first down, but not enough to move the ball the length of the field, as they were pinned deep in their own territory, starting out from inside their own 20 last time. Much better starting position this time, 1st and 10 in their own 35. Ward in the gun with split backs, and we see a quick flag here before they get the snap off. And that looks like it's going to be a false start against East Wilkes, and indeed it is. So shooting themselves in the foot yet again are the Cardinals. And that's something you just can't have if you're Coach Atkins talking to your team right now.
If you're trying to come up here and pull off an upset, definitely not the start East Wilkes looking for. I'm sure the coaching staff over there a little bit upset, a little bit disappointed. But I'm sure they have faith in their kids and have faith in their players. They can shape up these mistakes and stay in the ballgame.
Option toss again to the right side. Ray trying to find some room along that right side, and he's able to pick up the penalty yards, but not much more than that. Gets it close to the original line of scrimmage. We'll call it about a gain of 3 or 4. Make it 2nd down, about 11 yards to go to pick up the first. It's been an exciting week this week here at Ashe County High School, Nate. Maybe not in the best of ways. A few distractions this week, including the fire at the high school.
Yeah, we heard about that. Sent a lot of fire trucks over that direction, came across the scanner, and thankfully nothing too serious, at least from what I understand.
Ward this time in feeling the heat, but able to complete the pass, working his way across midfield and into Husky territory. A great pitch and catch right there, that time to number 17, Jared Wood. I'll tell you what, Ward stepping up under duress and firing a rifle across the middle, hits his man in stride, and East Wilkes threatening here on this possession.
Nice strong throw from your junior quarterback, something you really like to see, especially when you run the ball as much as East Wilkes does. Right there, able to get the passing attack started a little bit earlier.
So now inside the Ashe County 40, 37-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Cardinals. First time they've been in Husky territory, and there's some early movement up front. Ashe defender stepping off sides. We'll see if he was drawn that way. And indeed it was early movement along the East Wilkes Cardinals front line. It'll be a false start, so back them up 5 more. Not making things easy on themselves with a couple of early penalties in this ball game for the Cardinals. They'll make it first down and 15, moving it back to the Husky 42-yard line. After the penalty, Ward keeps it himself this time on the option. Ankle tackle made, and then closing in one of the Baker boys. And I believe that was Brandon Blevins maybe grabbing that shoestring and bringing him down first. Pick up of about 2. Second down, 13 from the 40 now for East Wilkes. Trailing early in this one, 13-0 hole they've dug themselves into. Ashe County moving the ball at will thus far in their first 2 possessions of this ball game. East Wilkes just trying to get something started on offense. Keep this drive alive. Ward now keeping it himself, has some room. He's inside the 35 and finally brought down by Tristan Jones leading the way. Also Kenny Reed stepping up and making a nice play from the secondary as we see him so often do.
That'll help East Wilkes on this third down play, makes it a little bit shorter. Still not as short as you'd like to be, third and medium here for the Cardinals. They would like to keep this drive going though. They've done a good job so far getting their defense a little bit of a breather and keeping Connor Bowers off the field.
So big third down situation here. We're inside the Husky 35-yard line. 3rd and 7. Ward in the gun, split backs, 2 men wide. He's coming to the near side on the option. He's going to keep it himself, and coming up and making a big-time play, Tristan Jones, the sophomore, and that's not going to be enough to pick up the first down.
Great tackle there, as you said. I would say if he got by Tristan right there, he would have most assuredly got the first down.
Instead, he'll have to settle for just a gain of a yard, they'll call it. So 4th down and 6. And looks like East Wilkes offense will stay on the field. And I guess at this point, you really have to at least make a go for it, especially on this deep in Husky territory, inside their own inside the Husky 35-yard line. 4th and 6 here, Nate. What do you draw up if you're Coach Atkins?
Well, he might not be happy with what he drew up himself here as he calls a timeout.
So a quick TO there, as you see on field, called by Coach Atkins. It'll be 4th down and 6 when we return. And talked about how these teams come into tonight's matchup. We'll take a quick glance at the conference standings so far in this Mountain Valley Athletic Conference. Ashe and Elkin right now at 3-0 after they survived a scare last week against this very East Wilkes team who sits right now in 5th place.
Elkin really played a tough non-conference schedule. As you can see, they're 3-4 overall record, but 3-0 in conference tells you that they may have struggled out of conference, but it really got them prepared for this Mountain Valley slate of games.
Right now, as you look at it, a lot of teams bunched up in that 2-1, 1-2 territory, East Wilkes being one of those. But right now, Ashe really in control of their own destiny, undefeated in conference play. They
are, and so far really haven't been too battle-tested. Allegheny gave them a pretty good game for about a half, but they started to pull away in the 3rd and 4th quarters. But as we all know, we've still got 2 big road contests coming up.
Now after the timeout, 4th and 6. Ward throwing on the run. Pass is caught, but he is not going to have enough for the first down, making a nice open field tackle. I believe that was Bradley Lucas. And that's going to stop him short of the first down, and that'll be a turnover on downs. Ashe County will take over on their own side of the field here, 1st and 10.
Good catch there by Chase Vernon, but looked like he ran his route just a little bit short of the marker there, and we'll give Ashe the ball back.
Not a bad play design that time by Coach Atkins after the timeout. Not the best of executions, as you said. Maybe the route ran just a bit short and not going to be enough to move the chains. Ashe County offense takes the field once again, already up by 2 scores, 13-0 early in this game. Coming out of the backfield, the screen play that time. Pass is complete to Sky Sullivan. He's really a dual threat himself out of the backfield. We know what he can do on the ground, but his receiving game, I should say, underrated too.
And he's really going to keep improving as his Husky career goes on. He's really taken strides just from the first couple of games from this season till now.
Exactly right. After the nice 9-yard gainer, makes it 2nd down and a short one. And Sullivan gets the call this time on the ground, fighting ahead. Boy, just refusing to go down. Good, strong run that time from the sophomore running back. And that's going to be enough to move those chains, give the Huskies another first down. Ashe looking to keep this momentum going. Flying high right now with this air raid offense. on their own 42-yard line now after gaining the first. Bowers on play action, fires across the middle. This one nearly intercepted. Nice defense that time, stepping up and making a play on the ball. I believe that was number 3, Devin Couch.
And how about Couch there, a true freshman out here on the field, getting some good minutes here with the varsity team, nearly making a big interception there.
So after that incomplete pass, the first of the game for Connor Bowers, this Husky offense makes it 2nd down and 10. Ashe hasn't faced too many these long yardage situations on 2nd and 3rd down thus far in this game. We'll see what they do here with 4 wide set. They hand it off to Sullivan. He is going to be stopped in the backfield with no room to work. The Cardinal defense snuffing that run attempt out very quickly.
Yeah, good job by the East Wilkes defensive line. Not a whole lot of size on their line, but right there made up for it with some nice athletic quickness there to make sure Sky Sullivan did not get any yardage on the ground.
So now that's going to bring up 3rd down and about 12 yards to go to pick up the first. With the wind whipping, we'll see if this hampers this Husky aerial attack any. And before they get the snap off, we're going to have a timeout from East Wilkes. Coach Atkins wanting to talk things over with his crew on a big defensive play here. Ashe County going to be facing 3rd and 12 as we see Coach Hampton gather his Husky offense together. We pulled up the standings there just a moment ago, and we'll show you how these teams got to where they are right now. First, we'll start with the visiting East Wilkes Cardinals. Started off the year with a nice victory over South Stokes, but really kind of hit a bump in the road there against Surrey Central, Iredale, and then, of course, Forbush, but did get a nice opening conference victory against North Wilkes.
Yeah, as you can tell, their defense has been sort of hit or miss this season. They've shut out North Wilkes and held South Stokes to just 8 points, and kept Elkin pretty low scoring as well, but other times they've given up, 36, 41, 41 again. Just, not much consistency from the Cardinal defense.
Yeah, never really sure what you're going to get out of these guys. But right now losing the battle in this one early. 13 points already given up to the Ashe County offense, but a nice opportunity here for this defense to step up and make a big play as the Huskies face a 3rd down and 12 situation after the timeout on their own 40-yard line. Bowers in the gun, empty backfield, and there's just what they wanted. Good hard snap count that time by Bowers. That'll make it a little more manageable here on 3rd and long.
Well, and you probably knew Ashe was going through the air either way, but, that 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, a lot more manageable than what it was.
And offside penalties increase Wilkes will move the ball up 5 yards. It will now be a 3rd and 7 for the Huskies.
We'll make it 3rd down, and as we said, a more manageable situation. 7 yards to go to pick up the first. How about this, Nate? Ashe County showing 5 wide. 4 to the right of Bowers, 1 to the left. Bowers evading defenders. He's going to tuck and run himself. Has the first down and then some as he just slips out of bounds. And a great job there by the senior QB. Didn't really like what he saw downfield, and he just puts his wheels on and goes for it.
We keep talking about it week in and week out. Connor always seems to be making those smart decisions. Last year might have forced a throw right there, could have been picked off, but takes the wide open rushing lane and picks up the first down.
So a fresh set of downs for the Huskies as they convert on 3rd and 7. Nice job by this offense. And I'll be working with fresh set of downs inside the East Wilkes 45-yard line. Bowers in the gun, again going with the 5 wide set. All day to throw. Finds Carter Calhoun cutting across the middle. He has the first down, now turning up the field. Although we do see penalty markers fly at the end of the play. Not a bad execution that time from Ashe County, and the short dump pass off to Carter Calhoun.
Looked like they might have gotten Jacob Blevins there with a little bit of a block in the back. Not sure what the call will be, but it seemed to be right in the area where he was blocking.
Waiting on official word. And indeed that is the call, blocking the back down the field. So negate the big yardage gain that time from the Huskies. Drops him back now. It's going to be first down and about 12 yards after the penalty. Huskies 5 wide set again. This time Bowers feeling the heat, in trouble. Pass is almost intercepted, and it does fall harmlessly to the ground, but that time a bit of a high throw by Bowers, and then McNeil did a big no-no, tipped it up in the air.
Yeah, it looked like that was Devin Couch once again trying to make a big play in the secondary.
So the Huskies evade disaster that time. It'll just be loss of a down, 2nd down and 12, not a loss of the football. On the East Wilkes 46-yard line. Huskies already on top here, 13-0. Looking good on offense so far. Here's a nice run again from Sky Sullivan, and he gets it close to that 1st down marker.
Sullivan really the complete definition of downhill runner there. Not really much dancing around. Just puts that foot down and goes straight upfield.
So the Huskies again will face a 3rd down situation on this drive. Converted the last one on 3rd and 7. Now facing a 3rd and 2. Four wide for Ashe County. Bowers in the gun, joined by Sullivan. There's the handoff to Sullivan as he works it over to the right side. Tripped up, but not before he gets it down to the 30-yard line and moves the chains once again for this Husky offense. Tell you what's good to see, this Husky offense already converting on a pair of 3rd down situations on this drive. Really haven't seen them do anything wrong on offense so far. Scored on each of their first 2 possessions, looking to make it 3 in a row to begin this ball game. 1st and 10 from the 30. Bowers dropping back, throwing all the way, looking deep down the field. Had his man, but the throw just a bit short that time, intended for senior wideout Jacob Blevins.
Nice effort by Blevins to not mind getting a few grass stains on him there, making a diving effort to try to reel that one in.
And early on, as you can see there, this East Wilkes defense keying in on Blevins, as we've seen teams attempt to do, although unsuccessfully so far this season. But so far tonight, he's yet to make a catch in the first 2 offensive series for the Huskies. Bowers looking for him there. That'll make it 2nd down and 10. 4 wide set once again. He's looking that left side for Blevins. This time pass, I believe, is caught, and yes, it is. So nice job there by Blevins. Another short throw, just a bit there by Bowers, but this time Jacob able to hang on, and that's enough to move the chains.
And as you said, teams have been trying to really shut Blevins down, but as we see week in and week out, somebody else steps up. We've already seen a couple nice catches, one from Worley and one from Carter Calhoun. And Sky Sullivan on the ground taking a lot of pressure off, not being able to get the ball to Blevins.
Fresh set of downs now for the Huskies in red zone territory, right on the 20-yard line of East Wilkes. Bowers joined by Sullivan in the backfield. He's going to give it to the sophomore tailback, working that left side, tripped up, but still a nice gainer there on 1st down. That's going to be a gain of about 6-7 yards.
Anytime you pick up that many yards on 1st down, the offense definitely clicking, definitely happy with that.
So after the nice gain on 1st down, brings up 2nd and 4. This Husky offense. Going to make it a 3-score advantage. Here's the handoff to Sullivan, fighting ahead, and basically goes untouched as he waltzes into the end zone for the 2nd time tonight. Now 19-0 Ashe County.
Sullivan off to a terrific start tonight. A lot of times you see homecoming, a lot of seniors come out and really want to play hard, but right now it's the sophomore putting an early imprint on this ball game.
That's right. We've heard of the Ed Sullivan Show. Well, this is the Sky Sullivan Show here tonight on homecoming so far for Ashe County. And making it look easy out there as he's already put up 2 touchdowns. The extra point this time is good from Richardson, so a quick 20-0 lead for Ashe County. We've seen them do it the past 2 weeks, putting up a lot of points, and already off to a quick start here tonight, and that was a very impressive drive. We've seen the Huskies not really have to put together long play drives or long yardage drives this year in a lot of plays, but hey, it's always nice to see them be able to put their nose to the grindstone as they edge out a 13-play, 79-yard drive that time, capped off by Sky Sullivan, and he was basically almost all the offense that time, 47 all-purpose yards there.
Yeah, when you can reel off drives like that, that'll come in really handy, especially in playoff times. Teams are a lot more balanced. You see a lot more talented teams clashing out here on the gridiron. When you can put a 13-play drive together, run it down somebody's throat, take some time off the clock, that'll definitely help your team as a whole.
You know, we talk about this Ashe County offense maybe one thing, you hate to criticize at all the way they put up points, but something that you say as we inch closer to the end of the season and into the playoffs, sometimes teams can score a little too quickly, but it's nice to see, as you said there, the Huskies be able to just pin their ears back and run it down their throat. This time Richardson's kick will be fielded around the 10-12 yard line. Now finding some room on that right side is Ray out across the 30, 35, finally pushed out of bounds right at the 40-yard line, so a big-time return there, a little over 30 yards on that return.
This will be the second time East Wilkes started with pretty good field position. Of course, last time it was due to the ball being kicked out of bounds, but right there, a good return there by Levi Ray.
East Wilkes offense back onto the field. Trailing in this one already, 20-0. Still haven't even completed the first period yet. Have to get some points on the board of their own. Hard to come back, especially against such a potent offense. And there's a nice play on the defensive side of the ball for the Huskies, stepping up. I believe that was Tristan Jones wrapping up Levi Ray in the backfield. Lost maybe about half a yard on that one. Brings up 2nd down and 10. Already, Nate, we've seen this Husky defense step up and make some nice plays as well.
We have, and something else we notice up here in the press box, teams not really having much success running up the middle, always having to take their running plays outside.
And there we see that will be the final play of the first period. Homecoming edition at Ashe County High School. Stay tuned in here on Sky Zone HD Channel 1. Ashe County leads it after one, 20-0. Stay tuned in. We'll have second quarter action right after this.
When it comes to insuring your home, business, automobiles, and property, you want an agency you can depend on. Miller Insurance has been serving this region for more than 60 years and are proud to now represent Everett Cash Mutual, which specializes in insuring farm property, equipment, livestock, and more. Before you renew your insurance policies, give us a call at 336-246-7151 or come see us in downtown West Jefferson. Miller Insurance is proud to be your hometown insurance agency that supports our hometown teams.
And welcome back into another edition of Friday Night Football on Sky Zone Sports. On Sky Zone HD Channel 1, Tyler Rash alongside Nathan Ham, proud to bring you the action. And what has so far been the Sky Sullivan show, putting up 2 quick touchdowns for the sophomore tailback in this Ashe County offense. They lead it after one, Nate, 20-0.
And shout out to the defense as well. East Wilkes has gotten some decent field position here, but they really shut the Cardinal offense down when they needed to, especially on that key 4th down.
Yeah, pitching a shutout so far. Points hard to come by in this one for East Wilkes, as it has been the story for the last few weeks against this Ashe County team. Everybody talks about how great this offense is. The defense has been very impressive as well. The wind really starting to howl here atop the press box. Still waiting to see if this slows down any of that air raid offense for the Huskies. There we see East Wilkes going to the air. Pass intended that time over to the left side from Ward. He was looking for number 39, Robbie Bentley. One of the few seniors on this team, 5'11" wideout. That one's going to be incomplete, though. Nice effort by Bentley. And that's going to bring up quickly a 3rd and 10 situation for East Wilkes. Ball on their own 41-yard line. Another 3rd and long situation they've dug themselves into. See if they can convert this time, as Ward keeps it himself on the option and wrapped up immediately. Breaking through that time on the line, we see leading the way, number 76, Hunter Scott.
And nothing doing there for East Wilkes at all. Another big stand by the Ashe defense.
So the Huskies force a quick 3 and out. So we see this punting unit come onto the field on 4th and 11 on their own 40-yard line. Oh, punt nearly blocked. It's off a decent kick, though. It's going to take an East Wilkes bounce. Nearly dies dead, though. And that's going to be good field position here for the Huskies. Not the best of punts when it's all said and done. Ashe County will take over on their own 38-yard line, 1st and 10. We'll see if this Ashe County offense can make it 4 for 4 in terms of scoring on every offensive possession. As Ashe takes the field, we remind you that tonight's game brought to you by Miller Insurance, Located in downtown West Jefferson, see Miller Insurance for all your insurance needs. 4 wide set now. 2 receivers to the left and right, but this time it's going to go out of the backfield to Hunter Barnes, making one man miss and showing off some football moves, getting out to the 45-yard line. Picks up about 7 yards on first down.
And nice first step, little juke move there. Turned probably what would have been just a gain of maybe a yard or two into a gain of 7.
Out to the 45-yard line of Ashe County now. Brings up 2nd down and 3. Bowers joined by Barnes. We talk about his play in recent weeks, stepping up and getting some nice carries. Now airing it out deep down the field, has Blevins open, makes no, and he just misses hauling in that catch. And, well, you don't see him miss on those opportunities too often.
Hardly ever. That may be the first deep pass I've seen him drop all season long. Maybe he just didn't know what to do being that wide open, and most teams have really tried to double team, triple team him here lately, but right there, got a step, perfect throw, but just could not hang on.
It wasn't for a lack of effort. To show off his speed there, beating 2 men down the field that time was Blevins, but just unable to reel that one in, as that's going to bring up a 3rd down situation now, 3rd and 3 here for the Huskies. 4 wide. This time slips as he gets the ball, does Barnes, barely able to hang on to it, and he's going to be wrapped up immediately. Looks like it's going to be a loss of about a yard on the play. And if you're Ashe County here, Nate, going to bring on that punting unit?
I would, but looks like right here, quite a bit of the offense really staying out here on the field. Coach Hampton might be going to gamble here and go for it.
And indeed, it looks as if he will. We'll see if this is just an instance where the Huskies try to draw them off sides on 4th and 4 on their own side of the field. Bowers looking over here to the sideline once again. And we'll see if the Huskies just choose to call a timeout, and indeed they do. So Hampton going to talk things over here. Wouldn't be surprised if we see the punting unit come onto the field for the Huskies. And once again, while we have a minute, take a look at the Husky season schedule thus far and how things are shaping up for Ashe County. As we said, really haven't been challenged with the exception of the Allegheny game. Entering conference plays, they stand at 3-0 and perfect on the season as well, with that contest at High Brighton being ruled a no contest. They were trailing in that one, but other than that, Ashe County perfect on the season.
Yeah, absolutely. We played a very tough non-conference slate of games, but as you said, during Mountain Valley play, nobody really given us much of a game so far. We might see that change, though, with that Halloween date with Starmount and the season finale at Elkin.
Yeah, the way things are shaping up now, as I believe most anticipated, looks like the conference title going to come down to those final 2 weeks of the season, with those 3 teams going to be in action: Starmount, Elkin, and Ashe County. Interesting to see how the Huskies hold out. Right now in control of this one in the early going. Still early in this one, though, just early in the 2nd period. But they do have a nice 3-touchdown lead right now, 20-0. East Wilkes still trying to claw their way back into this one. 4th down and 4 after the timeout. And Nate, much to my surprise, Ashe County leaving this offense on the field.
Hey, Coach Hampton really confident in his offense right here to be able to pick up a 4th down and keep moving down the field.
So Ashe County on their own 44-yard line. Then they're going to hand it off to Barnes, fighting forward, dives ahead, and more than enough to get the 1st down. So the gamble on 4th and 4 pays off, and that moves the chains.
Big statement there by the Ashe offensive line. Just absolutely blew up the Cardinals there on the little delayed handoff. Easy 1st down for senior Hunter Barnes.
Barnes making a nice play there. Of course, as you said, it's easy when that offensive line opens up enough room for you to drive a truck through. 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Play action. Bowers looking on this near side, airing it out deep. Has McNeil. Did he get the foot down? And it is ruled a catch. My goodness, Mason McNeil making a great effort, I should say, just to catch that ball and then getting that right foot in. As we'll take a quick look there on replay. Wait a minute, he did not get that foot in.
Oh, wow. Ref might have missed that one there.
So as we see there on the replay, that foot was right on the line, which is out of bounds. But it is ruled a catch on the field, so a missed call that time by this referee on the near sideline. But Ashe County not going to complain, working quickly now. 1st and 10 inside the 15. Bowers there and looking at the corner of the end zone, and McNeil again. This time he certainly does get that foot down, no question, and puts up 6 more on that scoreboard.
Huskies should be very happy we don't have instant replay here at the high school level.
Yeah, that last play before the touchdown pass should not have counted, but as you said there just a minute ago, Huskies certainly won't be complaining, and as you said, are thankful that there's no instant replay by the officials, unlike what we are gifted with here to review that play. But that one certainly did stand, as we saw on replay. McNeil gets the foot in easily, and man, I just tell you what, these recent weeks, McNeil makes it look easy catching that football.
He does. You can about say that for any of our wide receivers. They really get open, get the ball, and get upfield. Pretty much, one slick motion there. You don't see a whole lot of drops or a whole lot of mental mistakes.
There we see the drive to the end zone once again for the Huskies. Just takes them 6 plays to move it 62 yards, capped off the 13-yard pass from Bowers to McNeil, and Bowers near perfection on that drive, 3 out of 4, 56 yards, and of course capping it off with the TD as he just continues to add to his season total. So for Ashe County, already their 4th touchdown in this one. Did miss an extra point. 27-0 where we stand right now in this second period. East Wilkes lined up deep to return the ensuing kickoff. Homecoming edition of Friday Night Football here tonight at Ashe County High School from Husky Stadium, and so far the Huskies putting on a show for this home crowd. This is a line drive kick, goes over the head. Was it touched? Referees say no that time. Attempting to return it looked like number 25, Justin Cheek. What exactly is the rule there, Nate, if the return man does touch it and it goes to the end zone?
You know what? I'm not really sure at the high school level. I would think it would be a live football, but then again, at this level, the ball goes in the end zone, it's automatically blown dead, so I'm not sure how it would be. I would assume that he would have to go back there and get that football, but at the high school level, a little bit different with some of the rules. Not sure on that. We may have to get the old NCHSAA handbook out.
That's
Check
right.
that one out.
We have to do some studying up on that one. We'll try to maybe get some clarification for you here before the end of this ball game. Maybe at halftime, try to get a look at the rule book. As we see back at the action now on offense, East Wilkes. There's the toss to the left side to Ray on the option. Not much room to work. Huskies doing a great job closing out on the edges tonight, too. We know teams have had little success getting it up the middle against them. They have been vulnerable at times, not getting the contain on the outside edge, but certainly tonight this defense has fit the bill of being a lockdown defense.
And that's something we've definitely worked on as the season progressed. We saw, earlier in the year, R.J. Reynolds get a lot of outside carries, and Mr. Dakota Goss in North Surrey pretty much running wherever he wanted to on us. But things have definitely changed. This rush defense has gotten a lot better.
And there we see it almost on cue once again. On the carry that time, number 33, Jordan Knighton, 5'6" junior running back. Just a very short gain, maybe a yard or two. And it's going to bring up another 3rd and medium length situation here for East Wilkes. 3rd down and 6, we'll call it. Ball in their own 24-yard line. Looking to get it out across the 30 to pick up the first. Ashe County defensive unit looking hungry again. Looking to make a stop and force another punt. There we see some miscommunication. Ball hits the dirt, and looks like East Wilkes has recovered it, and they do, but no matter there. That's going to be not a turnover on downs, force a punting situation now. Just a bit of failed execution there. Devin Couch, really no room to work, the freshman out of the backfield.
Yeah, tough pitch to handle there, and put the freshman there in a tough spot. East Wilkes really needs to be able to get this punt off. They definitely can't afford to fumble another snap like they did early in the game.
And barely gets this one off, as that's a low punt. Will roll out right near the 45-yard line, just across it, they'll say. But Ashe County defense does what they do best and gives this offense great field position once again. Huskies will take over 1st and 10 on East Wilkes' side of the field.
And we'll see if Ashe wants to go right to the air attack or continue getting some yardage on the ground like they have been for most of this contest.
56 and 55. Those are the two numbers we've seen the Huskies put up point totals the last 2 weeks. Well on their way here already with 27. early on in this second period. As they take over on offense once again, play action. Bowers looking across the middle, finds Ellis, stiff arms one defender, still on his feet, gets a nice block on the edge, and fighting ahead, gets it down there about the 35-yard line. There's something that can't be valued enough. You talk about Colin Ellis, he always fights hard for those extra yards after the catch.
Absolutely, you love to see that. Your guys out there not afraid of those yak yards, as we call them, will take a hit, but just keeping those legs churning, keep trying to get upfield.
Yeah, never content with just gaining, maybe 5, 6, even some big play yardage. He's always turning his head down, looking up the field. That'll bring up second down and a short one for Ashe County. See if they go to the air this time. No, on the delay, it goes to Sullivan wide open up the middle, has a nice lane. Finally going to be brought down, but not before he gets it inside the 30-yard line. And that's another Ashe County first down.
Couch there with the tackle from behind. Might have saved quite a bit more yards for our sophomore tailback.
Sullivan, as we've said, putting on a show here tonight so far. The sophomore running back stepping up here on homecoming edition of Friday Night Football. You talk about it here, 2 big weeks in a row for Ashe County. Homecoming here tonight and quickly turning it around to senior night next week.
Yeah, a lot of stuff on the minds of our kids out here, but so far proven tonight they can stay focused through all the homecoming festivities, and I would say this team will come out focused against North Wilkes for senior night as well.
And before they get the snap off, flags fly everywhere as this play is blown dead. And looks like that's going to be on Ashe County in the way of a false start. Early movement up front, and indeed it will be. Coach Hampton obviously not too happy with his crew on that play. One of the few mistakes we've seen by Ashe County on offense here tonight.
Yeah, it looked like about half of our offensive line didn't have the snap count down on that play.
So after the penalty, makes it first down and 15 for the Huskies. Backs them up to their own 32, or excuse me, the East Wilkes 32. Bowers this time all day to throw. Bit of a high pass that time for Ellis. Hangs on though, makes the catch. Still on his feet, fighting forward. Just relentless once he gets the ball in his hands and gets it into red zone territory.
Yeah, it looks really close to that first down line. They may bring out the sticks here. No, they're going to go ahead and give him a first down. A tremendous effort by Ellis.
They brought it down to the 19-yard line now with just over 6.
So that gets it down to the 17-yard line of East Wilkes. Ashe County, another first down. Bowers dropping back, looking across the middle. Pass is caught by Calhoun. Turns it up the field, gets a couple of yards after the catch, and gets it down there just outside the 10-yard line.
And he's brought down at the 11-yard line.
Bowers really spreading the wealth here tonight. Already past completions to Jacob Worley, Carter Calhoun, Colin Ellis, Mason McNeil, and Jacob Blevins. Already 5 men, and actually Sky Sullivan makes it 6. This time an empty backfield, 5 wide. Bowers dropping back, looking to air it out all the way. This time being flushed out of the pocket, has to force a throw to the outside before he is dragged down. And that time, good job just to get rid of it by the senior QB, looking in the way of Carter Calhoun.
I think Connor also completed a pass to Hunter Barnes earlier, so will that be 7 different targets?
That's impressive.
Yeah, using all your weapons up, and that's just here in the first half.
Certainly a plethora of options for this Ashe County offense, and Bowers puts them all to good use. 5 wide once again as we see stacked receivers to the right. Bowers looking to throw all the way, looking end zone. Worley's direction, has the catch, and takes it across the goal line for a touchdown. Added one more for the Husky offense.
Great route ran there by Worley. Gets right in front of the DB. Easy target there for Connor to hit, and the senior quarterback. Yet another touchdown pass tonight.
Tell you what, good to see there. See on replay, Worley set a nice route, and nice to see him rewarded with a touchdown.
Absolutely, he gets a lot of snaps, gets a lot of balls thrown his way, but they rarely seem to be in the red zone area, but right there he comes through with a touchdown.
Making the most of the opportunities as we see Richardson good on this PAT. So the Huskies 34-0. And there we see it again, Nate. Another nice drive put together, capped off by a great pass from Bowers to Jacob Worley, and near perfection once again from Connor Bowers, 4 for 5 on that drive.
Absolutely, Bowers well on the way to crossing that 2,000-yard mark on the season, and just can't be complimented enough of his tremendous accuracy so far this year.
He's certainly had the arm to lead this offense so far this season, looking very strong in this new air raid offense. He talked about, with a new offensive style, new quarterbacks and receivers coach in Drew Piscopo, but tell you what, the Huskies certainly haven't let that bother them, trying to learn a new system, and they've made the most of it, and this offense certainly flying high this season.
Yeah, they haven't. As you said, Connor, his real struggles came in that first game with 4 interceptions, but since then, not turning the football over at all, hardly at all anyway, and making a lot of good passes, good decisions, and that Husky offense just keeps rolling right along.
Good deep kick again by Richardson. This time will be fielded around the 6. They can move up the middle, still on his feet is Cheek, gets it out across the 30. And I'll tell you what, the one thing that can't be discounted too much by East Wilkes, they have had a nice return game so far.
They have had that much going for them. Of course, Justin Cheek, one of their better athletes and one of the few big-time skills position players they have coming back from last year's team.
East Wilkes still trying to get some points on the board as they face an early 34-0 deficit, still just in the first half in this ball game. Homecoming tonight at Ashe County High School. Huskies looking to crown themselves winners tonight, as well as the homecoming queen, as we see pass on the left side, a bit of an errant throw. Looking in the direction of number 80, Chase Vernon, but tightly covered there by the Husky secondary.
Yeah, it looked like Evan Owen, Zach Uten back there, both in pretty good position.
So after the incompletion, brings up 2nd down and 10 for the Cardinals. Ward trying to get things straightened out in the backfield. 3 wide set. Here comes the option, now trying to switch fields, and nothing doing as the Huskies had that one read all the way. He's going to be wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage. So again, another run play snuffed out by the Husky defense. Jason Baker leading the way that time for the Huskies. Quickly facing another 3rd and long situation now on 3rd and 10. Ashe County defense looking to get off the field again very quickly. And there they step up and make another big play. My goodness, these guys just don't quit.
Look like Jason Baker once again, Bradley Lucas in there. Got to feel sorry for the quarterback there. Chris Ward really nowhere to go. Once again, a 4th down play coming up for East Wilkes.
And the punting unit quickly onto the field once again, getting their work cut out for them this evening. As we've seen, most teams have to settle for a bad field position. And given the Huskies great field position, and there we see it once again, the Ashe County defense does their job. And the Huskies will take over again on East Wilkes' side of the field. 1st and 10 from the Cardinal 46.
And we've seen a lot of that here lately for Ashe, getting to take the ball in the opponent's territory already. Makes it even easier on this powerful offense.
No help needed, but certainly getting it tonight is the air raid offense. Cardinals have had no answer whatsoever for Ashe County. Bowers dropping back, looking deep again, looking for Ellis, and man, a nice catch that time, falling down, but still the presence of mind to snag that ball out of the air and makes the reception.
Looked like Coach Hampton got pretty excited down there. Ellis wide open on the wheel route out of the backfield, but could not keep his footing. Had a lot of green in front of him, but still have to be happy with the great focus by the young man to catch that one in spite of falling down.
They talk about it, probably a touchdown if he doesn't slip, but they'll take it anyway. Still enough to move those chains. Now on 1st and 10 after the nice gainer. Bowers being flushed out of the pocket, throws on the run, and it is caught. This time by Jacob Worley. Look at him showing off his quick footwork and gets it down inside the 15-yard line, but we do see a couple of flags fly late.
Looked like it might have been another block in the back downfield, unfortunately for Ashe. See what the ref says here. But how about that route by Jacob Worley? Coming back to your quarterback, you see him scrambling, rolling out, comes back and makes a big catch.
And it seems like it. We see that almost every game, Nate. At least once or twice. The presence of mind there and the awareness of these receivers to see their QB in trouble and help bail him out, so to speak, and able to pick up some nice yardage, even despite the holding penalty downfield. So now after the gainer through the air and then the penalty makes it 1st down and 4 for the Huskies on the 27-yard line. Bowers all alone in the backfield. 5 wide set, trips to the right. All day to throw, hits his man Ellis across the middle. Not a lot of gainer there, or not a lot of yards gained. Excuse me, that's Mason McNeil making the catch. Just a gain of a pair. Not a lot of room to work after making that catch. So after the pickup of 2, makes it 2nd and 2. Ball on the East Wilkes 25-yard line. Bowers all alone again in the backfield. This time has his man deep, and McNeil wide open across the middle. And 6 more for the Ashe County Huskies, just making it look easy out there.
Oh, yeah, beautiful pitch and catch right there. Hit McNeil in stride right in the back of the end zone. Ashe really putting this one away early.
Coming out in convincing fashion as they have each of the last 2 weeks, already up 40-0 before we even head to the half. Looking to add 1 more now as Richardson snapped the kick right down Broadway. 41-0, the Ashe County Huskies. 4 plays, 46 yards, and there we see at the end, nice 25-yard pass from Bowers to McNeil. Of course, McNeil had a short yardage catch just before that on the play. Gainer of 2 catches for 27 yards, and he finds pay dirt once again. And as you said there, the season total from Connor Bowers just continues to grow on touchdowns.
Absolutely. And what number doesn't continue to grow? Those interceptions. Just keeps making smart throws week in and week out.
It's a lot to be happy about for this Ashe County home crowd tonight as we see a great turnout for Homecoming 2014. As we near the halftime, be an extended one tonight as we'll have the homecoming queen announced. And a little bit later tonight, we will also have a homecoming king at Ashe County High School. That'll be at the homecoming dance. And a pair of football players out there, they don't have their minds on that right now. It's on football, but Connor Bowers and Jacob Blevins.
Absolutely. Hopefully they keep their mind on football.
That's right. Richardson puts his big foot into this one once again. Nice kick. Be fielded around the 8-yard line. Trying to find some room here on the near side. Nothing doing, however, snuffed out quickly that time by Evan Owen, making a nice play.
Absolutely. Evan Owen gets called on each week by Coach Hampton. They end up doing different things. We've seen him in coverage tonight. We've seen him on special teams. Of course, early in the season, doing a great job catching passes with Blevins and McNeil both missing games.
The tournament not even able to get out to the 20. They'll settle for 1st and 10 from their own 19 will the Cardinals. As this offense comes onto the field once again, still trying to put some points on the board as they trail 41-0 to this Ashe County Husky squad. Just continues to look the part of just a juggernaut in Mountain Valley Conference play. Here we see a nice gainer on the ground out across the 35, finally going to be tripped up. And again getting on the action, Evan Owen after making a nice special teams tackle. That was number 33, Jordan Knighton, with a great run. All the way out to the 38-yard line. 1st and 10 now. Ward in the gun. Going to hand it off once again, but nothing to do, nowhere to go this time, I should say. As pretty much that entire Husky defensive front in on the tackle. Knighton, no room to work. You see the Huskies just really using that size advantage tonight here. Imposing their will both on the offensive and defensive line. Short gain on that one. Still, we'll call it about second down and just shy of 10 yards to go to pick up the first. Handoff again goes to Knighton, and much of the same as on the last play. Able to fight forward, maybe picks up a yard. But Ashe County relentless on that defensive front. Tristan Jones, I believe, leading the way, the sophomore. And it looks like a flag flies late as well. Let's see what the call is here from the officials.
Looks like a personal foul there. Not sure what it would be on. Maybe a face mask or something like that, but didn't give the face mask signal, just a personal foul call.
And Coach Hampton, I don't know if he's happy with the explanation either. It didn't look like anything dirty from here on the press box. Of course, it is hard to see down there in those dog piles. So nonetheless, going to be personal foul against Ashe County. Moves it into Husky territory. Gives East Wilkes another first down, now on the Husky 45-yard line. Swing pass here to the near side is caught, and looking to turn it upfield, but not much room to work. Being slung out of bounds by Bradley Lucas was Jared Wood.
Another youngster on the Cardinal team getting some minutes there. That's a freshman out there. Nice little grab. Gets a few yards for him.
So call that just a gain of about a yard. Two, they'll call it now, 2nd and 8. Ball on the Husky 44-yard line. Play action, Ward throwing on the run, firing it out deep. Pass is incomplete, in and out of the hands of the intended target, number 80, Chase Vernon. Although he was double covered, still had plenty of opportunity to catch that ball.
Nice throw there by Chris Ward. Good arm strength on it, had it right there. Got to make that catch.
Yeah, you talk about it, those are the plays you've got to make if you're East Wilkes now. Try to get anything positive going to the halftime break. 3rd and 8 now. East Wilkes trailing the Huskies 41-0. Time running down here in this first half. They're just going to hand it off to Knighton, tripped up. Not a bad gainer there. Picks up about 6 on 3rd and 8. That'll make it 4th down and about 2 yards to go to gain the first. Time really ticking away here before the halftime break. See what East Wilkes chooses to do. You know they'd love to try to get 6 on the board before we go to halftime. Try to get anything positive going their way in this ball game. So far it says not. And there goes the handoff to Knighton over to that left side, stretching ahead. Did he get enough? First look, it does not look as if he did. And this Husky defense does what they do best and force a turnover on downs.
Absolutely, the Ashe defense just keeps clicking on all cylinders, getting the other teams off the field and getting their offense right back out there.
We've seen them this season so many times coming up on 4th down in short situations and winning those battles. And one of the biggest ones was against Allegheny at the end of the half, very similar to this situation.
Yeah, that really changed that whole game. Allegheny could have went in and made a big dent in the Ashe lead, but instead it gets shut out, and we get the ball after halftime and score right on them, and Allegheny never recovered from that.
So it's just a few seconds left on the clock. We'll see if Ashe County just chooses to take a knee here and go to the halftime up 41-0. Rolling right along as this Ashe County offense once again and team overall. Defense pitching a shutout so far, looking equally as impressive. And you got to give a big shout out to those guys doing the dirty work up front on that. It's offensive and defensive lines for Ashe County.
Absolutely, the unsung heroes, both sides of the football.
And what looks like will be the final play of the first half. Barnes takes the handoff, trying to find some room there off tackle on the right side. Not much doing, maybe gains a yard or 2. But we won't have to see any more football this half. And mercifully, if you're East Wilkes, you're glad to see this first half come to an end, trailing 41-0.
Great half of football for the Huskies. For East Wilkes, definitely not what you were hoping. Coming up here, trying to play spoiler, but get some kids some playing time in the second half. And just pretty much use the rest of the game as practice, because Ashe really come out, made a statement early on, and they're looking to cruise to a victory.
So Ashe County will have to put this air raid offense in the hangar for a few minutes as we'll give it up to the halftime show here at Ashe County High School, homecoming edition. Getting ready to see the homecoming queen crowned here at ACHS. Stay tuned in for that, and we'll be back right after the break with second half action on Sky Zone HD Game of the Week, brought to you by Miller Insurance, located in downtown West Jefferson. Stay tuned.
When it comes to insuring your home, business, automobiles, and property, you want an agency you can depend on. Miller Insurance has been serving this region for more than 60 years and are proud to now represent Everett Cash Mutual, which specializes in insuring farm property, equipment, livestock, and more. Before you renew your insurance policies, give us a call at 336-246-7151 or come see us in downtown West Jefferson. Miller Insurance is proud to be your hometown insurance agency that supports our hometown teams.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2014 homecoming festivities. Tonight's court will be presented with the assistance of the Ashe County High School Junior ROTC under the command of the Battalion Commander, Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Telemapo. We'd like to take this opportunity to thank Four Gals and a Florist located at 105 Back Street, West Jefferson, across from the Farmers Market, for the flowers that provided for homecoming. Nancy Compton, owner of the florist, donated the roses that will be presented to our new 2014 homecoming queen. At this time, please direct your attention to the field as we begin homecoming 2014. Our special guest this evening, representing the class of 2013, is last year's homecoming queen, Miss Haley Kinsey Richardson. She's the daughter of Rodney Richardson and the late Cynthia Richardson of Whitetop, Virginia. In her free time, she likes to go to church, spend time with friends, and enjoy the outdoors. Her goal in life is to follow God's plan He made for her, and she is currently attending ETSU. She plans to transfer to a university where she can pursue a degree in occupational therapy with an emphasis on special needs children. Her favorite quote is, "To you, O Lord, I lift up my soul. Oh my God, I trust in you. Let me not be ashamed. Let not my enemies triumph over me." She is escorted by Cadet Staff Sergeant James Lewis. Ladies and gentlemen, our 2013 homecoming queen, Miss Haley Kinsey Richardson. Our first attendant representing the freshman class is Miss Taylor Renee Barker. She's the daughter of Curtis and Crystal Barker of West Jefferson. In her spare time, Taylor plays all types of electronics, swims, listens to music, and she especially loves to dance. In 2013 and 14, Taylor participated in the Buddy Walk to raise awareness and money for people with Down syndrome. She's a member of both the Beaver Creek Baptist Church and the Happy Trails Cowboy Church of Ashe. Taylor, who's participated in the Special Olympics, her goal in life is to be the best she can be. After high school, Taylor plans to get married and have a family. Her favorite quote is, "Laughter is the best medicine." She's escorted by Cadet First Lieutenant Thomas Sexton. Miss Taylor Renee Barker. Also representing the freshman class is Miss Madison Blake Eller. Madison is the daughter of Robert and April Eller of Lansing. In her spare time, Madison likes to listen to music, dance, and spend time with family and friends. She attends Clifton Baptist Church, where she participates in the youth group. She's also participated in the Special Olympics. Her goal in life is to spread love and laughter everywhere she goes. After high school, she plans to enjoy each day and live life to the fullest. Madison's favorite quote is from Scott Hamilton, "The only disability in life is a bad attitude." She is escorted by Cadet Captain Ethan Bennett. Miss Madison Eller. Our first sophomore attendant this evening is Miss Lindsay Jane Aldridge. Lindsay's the daughter of Kevin and Christy Aldridge of West Jefferson. In her spare time, she likes to read, watch movies, and shop. As a freshman, she lettered in volleyball and softball and was voted by her volleyball team as the most valuable defensive player. Her goal in life is to fulfill God's plan for her. After graduation, she plans to play volleyball at a university and get her degree in physical therapy. Her favorite quote is from Jeremiah 29, verse 11, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." She is escorted by Cadet Captain Lucas Parsons. Miss Lindsay Jane Aldridge. Also representing the sophomore class is Miss Ira Lynn Marie Hendricks. She's the daughter of Diana and James Hendricks of Fleetwood. In her free time, she likes to camp, fish, travel, and spend time with family and friends. Her goal in life is to become a nurse practitioner and one day be a dedicated nurse, wife, mother, and friend. After completing high school, she plans to continue her education at Caldwell Community College to obtain an associate's degree and then transfer to a 4-year university. Her favorite quote is from Paul Williams, "There's a miracle everywhere you go. There's an angel down every road. Sometimes you're blessed and don't even know. There's a miracle everywhere you go." She's escorted by Cadet Second Lieutenant Jake Trent. Miss Ira Lynn Marie Hendricks. Our first junior attendant is Miss Linda Catherine Arsenault. She's the daughter of Doug Arsenault and Amanda Nixon of Jefferson. In her spare time, Linda enjoys drawing, painting, watching movies, listening to music, and working with clay. She has greatly improved her creativity and is becoming more independent. Linda's goal in life is to show others the beauty that life has to offer. After high school, she plans to continue to be involved in the community and work with animals. Linda also participated in the Ashe County Special Olympics. Her favorite quote is from Marvel Comics, "Hulk Smash." She's escorted by Cadet Major Matthew Carson. Miss Linda Arsenault. The junior attendant is Miss Rebecca Elizabeth Willis Bowers. She's the daughter of Jeff and Laura Bowers of West Jefferson. In her spare time, she likes to play soccer, shop, and discover new technologies. Becca qualified for all conference in soccer as a freshman and sophomore, is captain of the High Country United U17 soccer team. She's currently an online student of the North Carolina School of Science and Math. Her goal in life is to be successful in the field of science. After completing high school, she plans to attend the university to study chemistry and pharmacy. Becca is a member of the Ashe County High School Beta Club and Science Olympiad teams. Her favorite quote is from Henry Ford: "Obstacles are those things we see when we take our eyes off the goal." She is escorted by Cadet Captain Ryan Lewis. Miss Rebecca Elizabeth Willis Bowers. Our first senior attendant is Miss Olivia Elaine Brettschneider. She's the daughter of Bill and Tammy Brettschneider. In her spare time, she likes to spend time playing soccer, hiking, reading, baking, kayaking, going to the beach, volunteering with her youth group, and enjoying mountain life. Olivia plans to attend Appalachian State University to obtain a degree in elementary education so she can become a kindergarten teacher. She plans to stay in or somewhere close to Ashe County because she treasures the small town feel. Olivia has been on the women's varsity soccer team for 4 years. She's won awards ranging from Best Defensive Player to All-Regional Player of the Year. She also ran on the Ashe County High School cross-country team her junior year. She's been a member of the yearbook staff all 4 years and is currently on one of the senior editors. Olivia also received the President's Gold Award for volunteer service, which means she's volunteered for 250 or more hours. In addition to being on the yearbook staff and the soccer team, she's a member of the Beta Club. Her favorite quote is from the book Caroline by Neil Gaiman. "Fairy tales are more than true, not because they tell us that dragons exist, but because they tell us that dragons can be beaten." She is escorted by Cadet Captain Thomas McNeil. Miss Olivia Elaine Brettschneider. Our second senior attendant is Miss Lauren Ray Hodgson. She's the daughter of David and Kimberly Hodgson West Jefferson. In her free time, she likes to play the guitar, listen to music, sing, kayak, explore, eat, run, read, and spend time with friends and family. She's secretary of the Beta Club, a member of HOSA and the Interact Club, and attends Beaver Creek Christian Church. She lettered in cross country and track as a junior marshal, and also played JV basketball and JV soccer. Her goal in life is to enjoy every moment and help others do the same. After high school, she plans to attend a 4-year university to obtain her bachelor's degree in nursing and become a registered nurse. Her favorite quote is from Abraham Lincoln: "Be sure you put your feet in the right place, then stand firm." She's escorted by Cadet Captain Matthew Porter. Miss Laura Gray Hodgson. The final senior attendant is Miss Maggie Allison Witherspoon. She's the daughter of Wendy Poe and John Witherspoon of Jefferson. In her spare time, she likes to play the piano, draw, hike, go to church, and spend time with family and friends. Maggie qualified for all conference in tennis for the 2011, 2012, and 2014-2015 season, and she is currently the 3rd seed on the varsity tennis team. She's at Beta Club and a member of the JROTC Husky Battalion Command staff. She is also a senior editor of the yearbook staff. Her goal in life is to become a nurse practitioner and help people. After graduation, she plans to attend Appalachian State University for nursing, and her favorite quote is, "You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough." She's escorted by Cadet First Lieutenant Nick Johnson. Miss Maggie Allison Witherspoon. And now the moment you have all been waiting for. Our 2014 Ashe County High School homecoming queen is Miss Maggie Allison Witherspoon. Miss Witherspoon will now be crowned by our special guest, Miss Haley Richardson, Ashe County High School's 2013 homecoming queen, assisted by Cadet Staff Sergeant James Lewis. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our halftime show for Homecoming 2014. The Homecoming King will be crowned this evening as part of the Homecoming Dance. And we'd like to say good luck to Jacob Blevins, Thomas Sexton, Connor Bowers, who are this year's nominees for Homecoming King. Thank you.
When it comes to insuring your home, business, automobiles, and property, you want an agency you can depend on. Miller Insurance has been serving this region for more than 60 years and are proud to now represent Everett Cash Mutual, which specializes in insuring farm property, equipment, livestock, and more. Before you renew your insurance policies, give us a call at 336-246-7151 or come see us in downtown West Jefferson. Miller Insurance is proud to be your hometown insurance agency that supports our hometown teams.
Well, congratulations to Maggie Witherspoon, a homecoming queen here at Ashe County High School, and welcome back in to Friday Night Football Homecoming Edition from Ashe County High School at Husky Stadium in West Jefferson, North Carolina. Tyler Ashe, joined by Nathan Ham here on the broadcast, bringing you the action for tonight's Mountain Valley Athletic Conference game. And so far, Nate, hasn't been much of a contest here for Ashe County.
No, not at all. East Wilkes really giving them no game at all. We're 1 point away from bringing on the mercy rule and a running clock once again. Not sure if it'll happen. East Wilkes could score right here on their opening possession. It won't matter, but, Ashe really just still trying to find somebody in the conference slate of games that will give them a game.
So Richardson on to kick, and we are underway with second half action. The teams have switched sides of field. And here we go. On the return now is number 25, Justin Cheek. Not much doing on this return, though. Going to be stopped right at the 20-yard line. And that's where East Wilkes will take over again on offense. 1st and 10, still looking for their first points of the night, as this Ashe County defense has impressively pitched a shutout.
Absolutely, and as you said, this is a really young Cardinal team. They can use this second half to get some of their freshman and sophomore kids some action out on the field.
Still at quarterback, we see Chris Ward. And there we see very quickly another flag flies before they can get the snap off. This is against East Wilkes. Yet another penalty. No, it looks like it's going to be against the Huskies. So that's going to be an offsides penalty against Ashe County. Maybe some of those young guys up there on the line of scrimmage. So now after the penalty, 1st down and 5 for East Wilkes, their own 25. Ward airing this one out across the middle, nearly intercepted. And boy, he's kicking himself over that one. Evan Owen nearly coming up with the interception that time. And, boy, I tell you what, Nate, starting back a couple of weeks ago, he's really come up with some big plays on defense for this Husky unit.
He has. He's really made some plays all over the field, wherever Coach Hampton's needed him to be, special teams, defense, or offense.
You talk about it in the absence of Jacob Blevins and also Mason McNeil. Each missed a game for Ashe County. They had guys step up and really able to fill the void admirably, as we see a long pass that is just dropped Once again, how many times have we seen that here tonight, Nate? And hate to single out a guy, but Chase Vernon, he's really had some open looks on the outside and unable just to reel them in.
Yeah, Chris Ward not getting hardly any help. He's making some pretty good throws out there, but just his teammates not able to make some grabs. As you said, we saw him drop a couple. I think we saw Jared Wood maybe drop a couple as well.
This Ashe County offense putting up a lot of yards in that first half, over 300 yards offensively. Over 90 yards of offense from Sky Sullivan on the ground. So both through the air and on the ground, as this one has a chance to be picked off. A little underthrown that time. And that time Zach Ooten unable to make the pick, but still able to break up the pass, and a quick 3-and-out for East Wilkes, and they'll have to be forced to punt this one away.
Ooten did a great job there jumping that route, cut underneath. Should have had the pick right there, but either way, puts an end to this East Wilkes drive pretty quick.
So bring on that kicking team once again. And there we see a penalty marker fly before they get the snap off. And that's going to be another false start penalty against East Wilkes. You know, not that it would make a difference in the outcome of this game, but they've made a lot of mistakes offensively, just pre-snap penalties.
They have. One thing they can say, they haven't turned the ball over. I don't know if have they turned it over at all tonight?
I don't believe so, no.
That's one thing they've been able to do quite a bit better, but still the penalties really eating them up.
Levi Ray, a low line drive punt. Not a lot with it, and that's going to give Ashe County great field position yet again. More of the same. Sort of like a broke record. Ashe County starting on East Wilkes' side of the field yet again from the 44-yard line.
And I'd say this might be one of the few drives here late in the half we see. Well, actually, Connor Bowers may not even come out for the second half at all. Looks like maybe Colin Ellis taking over here at quarterback.
And it appears you are correct, as most likely Connor Bowers' night is done for another week in a row. Doesn't even have to play but one half of football. So he's going to finish up with 3 touchdown passes, I believe, in that first half. Hunter Barnes getting the carry, and it'll be the Colin Ellis show now at QB for Ashe County. Just a sophomore. He was the quarterback last year, starter for the JV squad in Ashe County. Also got called up late in the year for a game or two on varsity, but this year has starred for the Huskies both out of the backfield and, can't even say just on receiving as well. Also does well on returns on special teams.
Yeah, he's really been one of our go-to guys this year all over the field. Hasn't been really called on to play any defense yet. Hopefully everybody will stay healthy, and he won't. But as you said, a real weapon offensively and special teams.
Now Ellis getting to see his arm. Fires one across the middle, but well short. Looking in the direction of Carter Calhoun, but it was also well defended back there in the secondary. And that'll bring up a 3rd and long situation here for the Huskies. 3rd and 8 to go. On the 44-yard line of the Cardinals. Tonight's game again brought to you by Miller Insurance, located in downtown West Jefferson. Be sure to check out Miller Insurance for all your insurance needs. Proud 2014 season sponsor of Ashe County High School. Now a 4-wide set. Ellis in the gun. Flushed out of the pocket, nearly brought down by 1-2 defenders. Now he's going to tuck and run it himself, cutting back across the middle. He has the first down yardage and then some, still on his feet and just refusing to go down, as we see when he's out in the receiving end. But this time he just takes it himself and picks up a big chunk of yards and gains the first down.
A lot of effort there for that run there by Colin Ellis.
All the way down to the 27-yard line. Pickup of over 15 yards that time on the scamper. Really showing off his athletic ability. Nobody's ever questioned his will once he gets out in the open field. Tough to bring down. 4-wide set again for the Huskies. This time handed off to Barnes. He's still on his feet inside the 20. Finally going to be brought down from behind at the 15-yard line. But not before he moves those chains again. First and 10 now in red zone territory. Four-wide set yet again. And there we see flags fly prior to the snap. And a That's going to go against the Huskies and the pre-snap penalty. False start, so that'll back them up, make it first down and 15 from the 20. Still in red zone territory are the Huskies, and cruise control mode here, 41-0. They brought pretty much the entire first team off the field. Good time for some of these backups to get some good playing time in, get a lot of reps. Here's Barnes again, working off that left side. This time not as much room to move. He does get it down inside the 20, though, for a pickup of a pair. Brought down by a pair of defenders. I'll make it second down and 13. As we see Ellis come in after getting the signal from the Husky sideline. Good to see Ellis getting some reps there at the QB position on the varsity level with the impending departure of Connor Bowers, who is a senior off of this team. And now he's just going to tuck and run himself. Boy, he is just so quickly bursting through the gates. And he's going to be down there inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, he adds a whole new element to the quarterback spot when he is taking the snaps. Very athletic, very quick, and probably not as polished of a passer as Connor is right now. Something he'll work on, I'm sure, as he gets a little older, assuming he sticks at the quarterback position. Not sure what Coach Hampton will have in mind in the future, but definitely great quickness, great speed there from the young sophomore.
So now inside the 10-yard line, third down and 3 on the 8. Ashe County needing to get down there to the 5. Here's a swing pass out to Helmer Alvarez. He's down there at the 5, looking end zone. Reaches ahead, but they're going to say is not enough to get that touchdown. He'll be stopped at the 1-yard line, but how about Helmer Alvarez now getting in on the action on the offensive end?
Yeah, we see him a whole lot on special teams, really one of our key special teamers. Always seems to be around that football.
Yes, certainly does have a nose for the ball. He comes up with a lot of fumble recoveries on special teams, onside kick attempts. This time I'm going to go to the ground game. Barnes, and he's in. So Hunter Barnes is rewarded again here tonight with another touchdown. And Ashe County pouring it on 47-0. And this offense looks unstoppable.
Absolutely. Put in a lot of the second-string guys right there and still just march down the field against East Wilkes.
The extra point attempt on the way after yet another score from this Husky offense. McNeil on to hold. Snap, hold. The kick is up and good once again. So tack on one more. 48-0. Now the Ashe County Huskies lead the East Wilkes Cardinals. There we see a nice drive being put together by the second team unit. 8 plays to get 44 yards, capped off by the 1-yard plunge by Barnes, who had a nice drive there, 4 carries, 17 yards, and, of course, the touchdown run as we saw just a moment ago. Good to see him getting in on the action. He's racking up several touchdowns here. He scored 1 each of the last 3 games now.
Yeah, getting a whole lot of carries. Didn't really get hardly any carries to start the season. Used quite a bit more on defense, where it seems he found a home for quite a bit of time. And, right now also getting to split some carries on the offensive side of the ball.
So 48-0 is where we stand now. Ashe County here on homecoming, putting on a show for the home crowd. Look well on their way to yet another victory and keep this perfect season alive. Talk about Huskies getting a lot of attention here across the state now. They finished up as the second team receiving votes, so technically if you want to put them in there outside the top 10, they'd be 12th place in 2A ball in the state of North Carolina according to the AP poll.
That's excellent, and of course the NC Preps poll already has us in the top 10. Getting a lot of respect here, playing up in the mountain. At least somebody's giving us some respect. Glad to see that. This team certainly earned it.
Wow, and an interesting kickoff there. East Wilkes waiting for that ball to go out of bounds. It just never did, and lucky for them, able to recover it. But Huskies there in relentless pursuit. Looked like number 27, Sam Hudler, nearly came up with the football for Ashe County. But East Wilkes does recover at their own 18, and we'll see them come onto the field again on offense. 1st and 10, trailing 48-0. This one pretty much a foregone conclusion, as with that score from Ashe County, we do now have a running clock as the mercy rule is in effect. It has to be 42 points. Is that correct, Nate?
Yep, 42 points, and even if East Wilkes scores, the clock stays running. Once it gets to 42, clock runs the rest of the game.
And Ward that time keeps it himself. Picks up about 3 yards on the first down carry. Out across the 20 now to the 21. That'll make it 2nd down and 7 for the Cardinals. Not a lot going wrong here tonight for Ashe County. Been very impressive. Both ends of the field, pitching a shutout on defense. As we see Ward going to the air. Pass is on. Oh, man. Ray drops that one, and, boy, that's just been the story for this passing attack all night for the Cardinals, dropped passes.
It has been. You got to really feel for Chris Ward. Once again, he's thrown some good passes, and that one to your leading rusher, maybe your team leader overall in the locker room and everything. Just can't pull that one in either. Just not been a night at all for the Cardinals.
So now after that dropped pass, sound like a broke record in that category as well. That'll bring up 3rd down and 7. 3 wide set. Ward, 2 men in the backfield as well. Fires this one out to the near side. This one is picked off. Kenny Reed taking it back up the field. He's down to the 25 and finally wrestled down there. How about that? Kenny Reed stepping up and making a very nice play. One of the few defensive starters still on the field.
Makes a good interception there. He's got pretty good hands. We've seen him grab some picks early in the season as well.
Adding to his season total. Not sure what his defensive stats are, but I know he's at least come up with Nate, I'd say at least 3 or 4 picks this season now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So after the interception, Ashe County once again in the driver's seat here on offense. 1st and 10 on the Cardinal 25-yard line. Colin Ellis, backup QB, back in there in the action. This time handoff goes to number 21, Alex Kissinger, into the ball game for the first time. Good to see Alex getting some carries there. 5'8" junior running back for the Huskies. They'll say no gain that time, so 2nd down and 10. Here in the 3rd period of a lopsided game, 48-0, Ashe County leads here on Homecoming 2014 at ACHS. Handoff once again to Kissinger, wrapped up almost immediately. Taken down, looks like for a short loss there, about the defensive lineman, 6'1", senior Houston Holcomb. Not giving up an inch. Make it 3rd down and short 10 for the Huskies. Looking to make it 7-0 on the season and 4-0 in conference play. This one pretty much a foregone conclusion with the huge lead. Ellis again keeping this one, but trips up a bit. And I might give credit tackle there to the grass here at Ashe County High School. Husky Stadium. Still falls ahead after a gain of about 3 or 4. That's going to bring up 4th down and we'll call it 6 yards now. Ball just outside the 20-yard line. Huskies threatening again already with a huge lead, 48-0. Just looking to get this second unit some reps on the field in this second half. This time Bowers going to the air over to Alvarez, and he cannot hang on, so that's going to be a turnover on downs, and Elmer kind of kicking himself after that one wide open on the bubble screen.
Yeah, just a similar play to what he made earlier in this quarter. Got down to the 1-yard line, but right there just couldn't make the grab.
So he can't find the handle and drops the pass. That'll be a turnover on downs. We see East Wilkes take over on offense. 1st and 10 on their own 21. Still just trying to get some points on the board. Ashe County pitching a shutout. Looking good on both sides of the ball, to say the least. Now here's a handoff to the left side. Some room to work up the field. There's Ray. He's across midfield. 3 defenders in pursuit. Shakes off 1, 2, and 3. They cannot wrap him up, and the big man rolls into the end zone. So finally something to cheer about for the sparse East Wilkes side of the field, but they'll take it nonetheless.
Absolutely good to see your senior running back still playing hard even though you were down 48-0. A great run there from Levi Ray.
So the big man listed at 6 foot, 187 pounds, showing off his wheels there and making some men miss. They really had him dead in the water right about the 20, 30-yard line, but he's able to shake off 3 Husky defenders and cruises into the end zone, and finally East Wilkes getting some points on the board. They have fought hard here tonight, giving it, everything they can, so nice to see that offense rewarded with some points on the board. I think some of these, looking at some of the reaction of the Husky defenders on the sideline, the first teamers, they were kind of wanting that shutout to stay intact, I believe, here at ACHS.
Yeah, I think they were, especially with it being homecoming.
Now the extra point attempt is up, and it is good. So tack on one more as East Wilkes finds pay dirt for the first time here tonight. It was just a one-play drive, 79-yard breakaway by Levi Ray. The extra point attempt was good, so finally something to be excited about for East Wilkes. And, with this one being a foregone conclusion pretty much, 48-7 here. We are just in the third period, but at least East Wilkes maybe some momentum carrying into future weeks.
Yeah, hopefully they can, play well here in the second half, take a lot forward with them. Still could be quite a bit to play for on the 1A side of things for East Wilkes. As you see, they've got Starmount, Wilkes Central, and West Wilkes coming up to wrap up the season. And they would like to complete the season sweep of their Wilkes County rivals after already beating North Wilkes pretty handily.
Yeah, you talk about it there for East Wilkes. Doesn't get much easier after playing here tonight. They're back home next week at least, but with the Starmount Rams coming in, like I said, things aren't going to get any easier for the next week or so here for these East Wilkes Cardinals. So we see their kicking team onto the field one of the few times we've seen them tonight, just the second time. Huskies lined up deep to return, as we'll see Levi Ray kick this one off after breaking away on a nice 79-yard touchdown run. Boots this one deep, will be fielded right at the 11-yard line. Mishandled a bit by Ellis, but recovered at the 20. Now across the 25, where he will run out of bounds at the 27-yard line and probably stay on the field, I would assume, to run the quarterback position, and indeed he does, as this Ashe County offense heads onto the field once again. Turnover on downs, their last offensive possession. 48-7 our score again. Working our way through this third period. Continuous clock. Once again, mercy rule is in effect. And Nate, it does not stop, correct, even though the deficit has grown less than 42 points.
Correct. It will run the rest of the way.
As we see the handoff here on the near side. That time, first time we'll call his name here tonight, Hunter Argetsinger, getting a carry on offense. Not much doing there on that one, though. Little or no gain. Second down and 10 now. Handoff again goes to Argetsinger, this time trying things on the right side. Not much doing there either. Maybe picks up one. So that'll bring up a third and long situation. Make it 3rd and 9 to be exact for the Ashe County offense. Just trying to work a clock in this situation. Control really from the get-go in this one. Scored on their first 4 possessions of the ball game. You could say technically they've scored every offensive possession. They did have the one snap there before the end of the half, as we see Ellis airing it out deep, looking for Calhoun. Maybe a little miscommunication there, and maybe just a tad overthrown by Colin Ellis. But right there you can see a sophomore has a pretty good arm on him as well. We know what he can do when he has the ball, but he also can throw that ball deep.
Yeah, he's definitely got the weapons to play quarterback if that's what Coach Hampton chooses to do next year. Of course, they've given JV quarterback Grant Thompson some time as well. Wouldn't be surprised to see him out there later. We see him down there on the sidelines tonight. But this season so far, Coach Hampton not having to worry at all about that quarterback spot.
McNeil on to punt, and boy, it's a good one. Takes a bounce just stepping away from it was the return man, and that one's going to roll all the way down to the 13-yard line. Mason McNeil, just can't talk about that enough either. When you get great play like that out of special teams, he wasn't even the starting punter to begin this season.
Absolutely. Jacob Levin started out doing that, but might have tweaked his hamstring a little bit kicking the ball, and as valuable as he is on offense, they did not want to take any more chances with him having to be the punter.
So we talk about another great night offensively for this Ashe County squad, and assuming, which I'm almost assured right now, he will not be back onto the field. Connor Bowers only threw 3 incompletions here tonight, Nate, unofficially. Looking down some of our stats here for 192 yards and 4 TDs.
Can't ask for much more than that, especially the efficiency and just the way he run the offense tonight. Just a great game so far for Ashe.
And that will be it for the third period. We will not get another snap off. Stay tuned in for the fourth and final quarter. Ashe County in cruise control on this one, leading 48-7. Stay tuned in for more fourth quarter action on the Sky Zone HD Game of the Week.
When it comes to insuring your home, business, automobiles, and property, you want an agency you can depend on. Miller Insurance has been serving this region for more than 60 years and are proud to now represent Everett Cash Mutual, which specializes in insuring farm property, equipment, livestock, and more. Before you renew your insurance policies, give us a call at 336-246-7151 or come see us in downtown West Jefferson. Miller Insurance is proud to be your hometown insurance agency that supports our hometown teams.
And welcome back in for another edition of Friday Night Football Homecoming Edition at Ashe County High School at Husky Stadium. Ashe County crowned the homecoming queen at the half. Congratulations again to Maggie Witherspoon, and going to crown themselves victors here after this fourth period comes to a close, leading 48-7 over East Wilkes. Huskies, as we've talked about earlier, still looking for really a challenging game in the Mountain Valley Athletic Conference. They have yet to have one, really, with the exception of maybe the first half in the Allegheny game.
Yeah, I think they'll get that with Starmount Elkin coming up, but they've had quite a bit of tune-ups for that, a good, solid non-conference schedule, and just getting a lot of minutes and play for a bunch of their kids so far during the conference slate. But things will change here in a couple weeks, getting Starmount and Elkin both on the road.
And Nate, I know that Coach Hampton doesn't like to talk about it too much. We'll resume this just as a second. There's Levi Ray gets the toss to the outside and nothing doing there. He's going to be swallowed up by that Husky defensive unit. But I know he just wants to take it a game at a time. But what are you thinking here? Can Ashe run the table and finish with that perfect 10-0 season?
You know what? I think they're going to pull it off. I really do. I think just our passing attack just does not match up very well with teams, especially from around our conference. I think we will run the slate. I know Coach Hampton probably doesn't want his kids to hear that. Already people thinking, no, we're going to go undefeated. But, I think they've put in the effort, the work, and I think that offense is going to be too tough for anybody to stop.
Yeah, as you said, with their play, certainly not an unreasonable expectation as Ray gets another nice breakaway run to the right side. Will not go for 6, but he's going to be out across the 30-yard line. That's going to be enough to move those chains for this East Wilkes offense. And Ray, certainly a talented running back here for this East Wilkes team. I know they're not going to get it done here tonight, but as you said, still plenty to play for, as they did pick up a nice early season conference victory. Stand at 2-5 overall, but I mean, if they pick up a couple of wins here at the end, finish with 3 wins, as you said, in the 1A side of things, they could be in a pretty decent position themselves for a playoff run.
Yeah, absolutely. The 1A side of things quite a bit different than other areas of play. A lot of 1A teams get together playoffs that maybe shouldn't get to go, but if you can win 2, 3, 4 games in 1A, you can, sometimes even squeeze out a home playoff game.
And we saw there on the long pass attempt, that's going to fall incomplete, bring up a second down and 10. As we talk about this special season for the Ashe County Huskies, their previous best start was 8-1, I believe, in 2006. That team finished up 9-3, getting shut out in the first round of the playoffs. But this team seems to have a different look about them, as you said, and could certainly, depending on the matchups, which we know that's what it's all about when you get into state playoffs, but they could certainly make a deep run.
Absolutely.
We see now airing it out again. This time pass is complete, And if you're East Wilkes, you would have liked to have seen more of that. Devin Couch, the freshman, making a very nice reception there, moving into Husky territory.
We've seen him make a few plays tonight, both on offense and defense. Some of the other freshmen not able to pull in some passes, but right there, good concentration to grab that one.
That'll mark it down at the 39-yard line, Ashe County's side of the field. One of the few times we've seen East Wilkes moving into Husky territory. It's all about just getting some practice time in here for your players for both squads at this point. 48-7, Ashe County dominating this one from the get-go as we see Ward dropping back, firing over to the right side. This one's going to be incomplete, however. Thrown a bit short, looking in the way of freshman Jared Wood. Interesting to see how this East Wilkes team does going forward. Talking more about, the next year or two with so many talented freshmen and sophomores looking up and down this varsity roster.
Yeah, you see some freshmen get their names called here. They were also playing plenty in the first half as well. So obviously Coach Atkins really likes what he's seeing from his youngsters.
Their JV squad put on a good showing against Ashe County last night down at East Wilkes, coming out on top 34-14 as we see Ray get another carry, takes it down to the 30-yard line. So maybe things looking up for East Wilkes football, and head coach J.K. Atkins, just a young guy himself, really looking to get this program turned around.
I think he will, as long as the fans and players give him some time. You can't really turn anything around overnight at really any level of play, but especially East Wilkes really struggled over the past few years. Really, they were a really solid team when they came to the Mountain Valley Conference. Just seemed like they kind of fell off by the time they joined their conference, haven't been as good as they have been before.
Third down, just a yard to go, but they're looking for much more. Pass is caught on this near sideline and cruising into the end zone. We see senior wideout Robbie Bentley getting in on the action, and those guys fired up right there, and good to see him getting into the scoring column.
A nice throw there once again from Chris Ward. This one receiver hangs on to and scores a touchdown.
Yeah, Hudler a bit of trouble reading that ball and resulted in Bentley being wide open here and takes it in for another East Wilkes touchdown, their second score of the night. 48-13 now, pending the extra point attempt. Hear that wind really whipping here across the top of the press box, but hasn't factored in on this game. The extra point attempt is up and is good. Not the prettiest of extra point kicks, but that one goes through the uprights. So tack on one more. As we take a look at that drive summary for East Wilkes, 7 plays, 88 yards. Really the first time we've seen them bear down and put together a nice drive.
Yeah, well, one of the few times they've completed a drive without any big penalties or any bad plays like that. Really just pretty much every play picked up some yards, took some much-needed time off the clock to get this ball game over with. But good, solid drive from the Cardinals.
So, Nate, as we look ahead once again at the last 3 games for the Ashe County Huskies, of course, senior night next week at home be the final guaranteed home game for Ashe County, then on the road at Star Mountain Elkin. Those two teams squared off earlier this season. Who do you really think is the better of those two, with Elkin being able to shut out Star Mountain? I know it was the first game in conference play, but still 26-0.
Elkin's really on fire right now. I think they may present a little bit bigger mismatch with Mr. Strickland and Cody King as well. Just a lot of athletes on that team. Starmount got quite a few athletes as well, but Elkin really put it on their crosstown rival, and that's going to be their senior night. Their seniors want a big win to end the regular season, so that game worries me a little bit more than the Starmount one.
We'll see if Ashe County can get up for those 2 games. Certainly, they will be ready to play. Coach Hampton always prides himself on having his teams ready to go, as we see East Wilkes lined up to kick this one deep. Huskies back to return. Good kick will be returned. Mishandled a bit again by Colin Ellis, having some trouble finding the handle. Recovers, though, out across the 20-yard line, and then is tripped up almost immediately after the 20 at the 22-yard line, as we'll see this Husky offense come onto the field once again, led by their 3rd different quarterback now, as I believe that is, yes, it is, number 15, Grant Thompson. So the freshman QB going to come in and get some reps here at the varsity level, and talk about these snaps for guys like him. These are invaluable.
Absolutely, especially if Coach Hampton decides to leave Colin Ellis in the backfield next season or put him out as a wide receiver. might have another option to turn to with a young up-and-coming sophomore.
So 1st and 10 for the Huskies on their own 22. Thompson looking to go through the air, fires it across the middle, just a bit overthrown. Not exactly sure that was intended to. Calhoun was in the area and then kind of overthrown him maybe a bit, and also in the area was Garrett Miller. Nonetheless, it falls to the ground, be an incomplete pass, and bring up a 2nd down and 10 situation now for the Ashe County Huskies. Shotgun snap this time. Hands it off and breaking one tackle, but then is, boy, wiped out pretty good that time is Hunter Argetsinger.
That was a big hit right there from the East Wilkes D-line. Couldn't quite tell who that was, but somebody went in there, really laid a hit on him. That might have been Adam Holbrook. Couldn't really tell, but big hit there from East Wilkes.
Yeah, laying down the law on that play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and long situation now for the Huskies. 3rd down and 7. Their own 25, Thompson dropping back, looking to air this one out. Can he get rid of it? No, he is going to be stood up and forced down to the ground. Leading the way there, I believe, was Houston Holcomb, one of the men in there for East Wilkes. It's another strong defensive play there in the late going by East Wilkes. Would like to have seen a little more of this fire earlier in the game. You know, if you're Coach Atkins from your team, too little too late now, trailing 48-14. That will bring on the punting team for the Huskies. We see Mason McNeil back to kick this one off. Good snap. Short punt, sails high, and going to bounce just across the 30. Does take a kind roll for McNeil. Going to roll dead at the 38-yard line, and we'll see East Wilkes come onto the field once again as they will look to try to keep that positive momentum going here that they've built in this second half and put 6 more up on the board.
Absolutely. Can't really take anything away from East Wilkes here late. Still playing hard, still giving it all they can. Something to build on for next week.
So at the conclusion of this one, we will see Ashe County improve, as we said there, on this undefeated season and move to 7-0, 4-0 in conference play. Running roughshod through the Mountain Valley Conference, much as we saw them do last year. Unfortunately for them, until the last one of the season against Starmount fell up a bit short there and had to settle for a 3-way tie along with North Wilkes. We know Coach Hampton came into this season with the goal of taking off that C&O off the co-conference title, and so far he's looking good to do it.
Yeah, Ashe has put themselves into place to win it outright. Just have to take care of business. Of course, Allegheny also with 1 loss, but struggling tonight with Wilkes Central from what I understand, so they could fall to 2 conference losses, which would make it really a 3-way race at the end.
And there is a fumble on the play, so mishandled the handoff a little bit, and that's going to result in a turnover for East Wilkes. So after we talked about them, taking care of the ball in the first half, they've had 2 turnovers here in this second half, albeit against really the second unit for Ashe County. But turnovers again plaguing this Cardinal squad, and Ashe will take over 1st and 10 on their own 34-yard line. Thompson back in to lead this offense yet again. The freshman getting some playing time here at the varsity level. 4-wide set for the Huskies. Drops the snap and nearly loses it. Did he come up with it? I believe he did. And yes, Grant Thompson was able to fall on it, but mishandled the snap. And you might think here, it is homecoming. A lot of people in the stands, although we have seen a big chunk of them go ahead and make their way out of here to avoid the traffic getting out. But maybe a little bit of Friday Night Light jitters there.
Oh, definitely got to be some butterflies there for Grant. Really struggling with the ball here in the 4th quarter.
This time has no trouble handling the snap, hands it off. But, boy, that East Wilkes defense, again, hanging tough. And that time on the carry was Carlos Reed, but no room for him to work. Going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. And that's going to bring up about 3rd down and 20, we'll call it, for Ashe County. Ball on their own 25-yard line. Thompson in the gun, dropping back, rolling out here to the near side, fires it deep. And nice defense that time, breaking that one up, intended for Carter Calhoun. And that's going to bring up another punting situation here for the Huskies as we see the kick team come onto the field. So on 4th and 20, Mason McNeil back onto the field to punt this one away. Just getting in some practice kicks here. Try to straighten out from last time. This is a good high kick. Going to bounce right about midfield and actually takes a cardinal bounce, though, as it rolls back to the 48-yard line where it will be blown dead. And we'll see East Wilkes come back onto the field on offense yet again. In Husky territory, 1st and 10 on the Ashe County 48-yard line. 48-14 our score. Ashe County dominating this one from the opening whistle. Put together 4 quick scoring drives and led 41-0 at halftime. Just an extra point away, missed extra point away from having the mercy rule in effect for a second straight game as we went to the halftime break. But did go into effect after they quickly scored on their first offensive possession in the second half. And East Wilkes able to put together a couple of nice drives themselves here in this second half of action. And there's another pass almost intercepted. And you know Kenny Reed wanted that one.
Yeah, he definitely wanted to have another 2-interception night. He did that against North Surrey in the season opener. Would have liked to have done that again tonight on homecoming.
Have to settle for just a pass breakup. So that'll make it 2nd down and 10. Just a few ticks remaining in this one. Play action, Ward dropping back, fires in deep once again into traffic. This one batted around and eventually just falls to the turf for an incomplete pass. Nice job of that Husky defense closing in.
Absolutely good to see them still battling back there. The shutout went by the wayside, but still trying to hold them here to 2 touchdowns.
And we'll see if we even have to get off another snap. And we will not, as we see both teams making their way to their respective sidelines. And as time rolls down, that is going to be our final score here tonight. 48-14, Ashe County big winners once again, and they keep this perfect season alive for another week.
Absolutely. Can't really say enough about how well-balanced this team's become. We've found a good rushing attack here lately, and the defense week in and week out trying to steal the show from the offense. Just can't say enough about them either, really holding all the conference teams in check.
So as we get our tallying done there, take a look at the top performers for the Ashe County Huskies here tonight. Another great game from Connor Bowers. And you can only imagine what he could have done if he'd have played, even 3 quarters in this one. Just in one half, though, 15 out of 18, almost perfect. 192 yards, 4 TDs.
And big game as well for Sky Sullivan. 9 carries, 92 yards, 2 touchdowns. Of course, over 10 yards a carry. Good effort from the sophomore. And speaking of sophomores, Colin Ellis doing it all again. 3 carries, 27 yards, 4 catches, 47 yards, and a score. Junior Mason McNeil, 4 grabs, 77 yards, 2 scores. Senior Jacob Worley, a couple catches and a touchdown. And Bradley Lucas, big on defense with 10 tackles.
Certainly a night to be proud of once again for this Ashe County squad, as they are big winners, 48-14. Really haven't been tested in conference play as of yet. And with the struggles of North Wilkes, you don't want to give anything away just yet. They do have some athletes there themselves. They are a young squad, but certainly it doesn't want to be, or Coach Hampton doesn't want his team to overlook those guys, as most people are looking ahead toward that Halloween night matchup against Starmount.
Yeah, and the good thing about being fans and being broadcasters, we can go ahead and start talking about things like that. But as you said, the team definitely going to be focused on North Wilkes. But the 2 big games coming up against Starmount and Elkin, that's going to determine the conference. And, considering both of those schools are 1A schools, may not really affect our playoff standing near as much. But, guarantee if we win out, we'll have a very good seed in the 2A playoffs. And a lot of teams have to come up on the mountain middle of November, end of November to play. A lot of those kids don't want to do that. But the Husky kids certainly, they want the playoffs to run through Ashe County. And that's definitely a goal for Coach Hampton and the rest of the team.
Yeah, it certainly is, as they look to build off of last season's playoff run that fell short in a game that they really controlled in that first-round matchup against Bunker Hill. Kind of let that one slip away in the late going. And, these guys they still, I'm sure, have that loss. Remember that vividly, and some of these younger guys want to step up and prove that they can help these Huskies to a big playoff run this season.
You're exactly right, something they really want to build on from last year, but make that playoff run last just a little bit longer.
So the Huskies again coming out, the big homecoming victory here tonight, 48-14 over the East Wilkes Cardinals, and remain undefeated on the season. East Wilkes falls to 2-6 overall on the season, 1-3 in conference play. And an upset alert once again as Allegheny continues to struggle against Wilkes Central.
They are. Wilkes Central may pull this one out and really put a big hit on Allegheny's conference championship hopes as well.
So that'll do it for us here tonight. Again, we appreciate you tuning in on Sky Zone Sports. Tonight's game again brought to you by Miller Insurance, as always, proud sponsor of Husky football here in the high country, and certainly one to be proud of as the Huskies march on and continue this undefeated season. 48-14 big winners, and that'll do it for our broadcast here tonight from Ashe County High School. For Nathan Ham, Corbin Richardson, and everyone at Sky Zone Sports, thanks for watching, and we look forward to joining you on next week's broadcast of Husky football.